make a little quick announcement. As you guys heard from HB, I was born here, and HomeBase has really been so important to me and just my growth as a human being, not just as an artist, but as a human being. So there's one other thing that has happened as a part of this that is really near and dear to my heart, and that was meeting Merlin. You guys saw him, and he trusted me to come and be a part of an organization called Phonetic Spit. Thank you for clapping. Those of you who know Phonetic Spit, you can clap. If you don't know, check it out. So anyways, Phonetic Spit is an organization that does this for young people. It's all centered around spoken word poetry and giving them a safe space to find their voice through spoken word poetry, right? So we have an event on September, we're doing our kickoff, so we have an event September 20th. If you have any young people who want to come, it's at the Burton Bar Library. It does this for young people. We do workshops, poetry slams, open mics. But then on September 21st, we're doing a fundraiser at Michael Cafe. It's an open mic. There's music. You can come sign up. You get a soul food dinner. Pre-sale tickets are $12. I'll be selling them today if you guys are interested in getting down. Cool. And then we're doing an event at the Mesa Arts Center throughout the year. So basically what I'm saying is talk to me if you're interested. We're not just asking for donations. We are doing an event to raise money to fund this organization because it's grassroots. So, thank you. Whew, that was a long-ass speech. This is a poem that I wrote that relays how I feel about working with young people. I did it once before. I was really attached to it emotionally. Now, hopefully, the moral of the story will go through a little better. I once saw a bumper sticker that read, "I write poetry because therapy is way too expensive, one." I wonder how normal it is to daydream about who would show up to your funeral. Lately, I've been riding around town with my seatbelt unbuckled. The other night, struggling to find rest, I took some Benadryl and 2 NyQuil, and I didn't bother to read the warning labels. I wonder if God is getting tired of me asking him to do my dirty work. One of my good friends and fellow poets, Matthew Cuban, once said, sometimes he wished the microphone was a shotgun and he could pull the trigger with the flick of his tongue, but sometimes I feel the same way. Sometimes I wish it was a live grenade and all I had to do was pull the pin. My grandfather always said wishing was for children and birthday candles. That real men who really desired something strapped up their boots and went out and got it. I've always pussyfooted around things I was fearful of too. I tell my students that courage is not the absence of fear, but instead looking fear into the eyes and pulling the trigger. I seem to be getting a little bolder with every attempt. I have so much to be thankful for, but I am so tired of running, and I've always heard that therapy was for crazy people. 3, I recently got health insurance, so I figured it couldn't hurt to maybe go speak to someone. On my first visit, they asked for my family history. Well, my father was always more of an urban legend than a dad. I hear he was a man of great potential if he had only learned how to face his demons while also passing a sobriety test one night. In a drunken rage, my cousin Joey loaded up a .38 special and attempted to push his brains through the side of his temple. Miraculously, he survived. His brother Jimmy wasn't so lucky. The night he listened to his favorite song on repeat in a running car while locked in his garage. Apples don't fall far from their tree 4. Our greatest fear is not that we are inadequate, it is that we are powerful beyond measure. I tell my students to unapologetically write their stories, to use a pen and paper to exercise their demons, that they are powerful beyond measure, to write into the world what you want, to write into the world what you want. Does it make me a hypocrite if I genuinely believe in my teachings but don't follow my own instructions? 5, hurt people hurts people. My best friend tells me I'm one of the most loving people she has ever met, but until I learn how to love myself, I am tired of hurting the ones I love. So lately, I've been daydreaming about disappearing, riding around town with my seatbelt unbuckled, listening to my favorite song on repeat, looking for a garage to lock myself in. Sometimes I pray for a thunderstorm to come so I can sit in the pool and see if God was listening. I seem to be getting a little bolder with every attempt. The other night, I started writing a farewell note. 6, I tell my students to unapologetically share their stories. In a recent class of mine, one of those students shared a poem for the first time. She spoke of her sexual abuse, suicide attempts, and desires to know love. Her shaking hands made it difficult for her to hold steady the notebook she kept her secrets locked in. She fought back tears as her peers snapped their fingers in support. That day she was brave. That day she was liked. Afterwards she thanked me. Told me that this class was better than any therapy she had ever gone to. I tell my students that they are powerful beyond measure, to use this microphone to exercise their demons, to speak into the world which you want to speak, into the world which you want. I am tired of running. That day when I arrived at home without noticing anything different, I unbuckled my seatbelt, went into my apartment, and began to turn that farewell note I started writing into this poem.